grandpa in Minnesota had one of those on the kitchen sink. I think they had a turn underneath the house.
There you go. Now you can feel it pumping hard. There you go.
You need a cheater and put a piece of pipe on that handle.
Works! Yay! Is it going to stop working? Or is it going to keep working? So, we have it all hooked up, and it wasn't working very well at all. Couldn't figure out why, and we thought maybe it had something to do with the release valve that we put in there for winter time, so we went ahead and put the Teflon tape on it, sealed it up, and reprimed it. Still wasn't working, because when we took the fitting off, it went ahead and drained all this. So we knew that that wasn't the problem. So we went ahead, put Teflon tape, closed it up, reprimed it, and a little bit came out, and then it got harder and harder to use. Then Tim realized that we had created a vacuum, and how are we supposed to do that? How are we supposed to fix that? So we were troubleshooting, trying to figure out what on earth that we can do, and then remembered that the outside pipe, that fitting, had 2 holes in it. So we went ahead and took off the larger piece down there. Tim took that one off, and you could hear the air sucking through it when he was starting to unscrew it. So we got that off, and now it works like it's supposed to. So when you're doing something like this, make sure you're not closing everything off, because you are going to be creating a vacuum seal. So it does work, and it's a lot easier to use than it was before. While it isn't the easiest thing to use versus, you know, turning a faucet on, at least we have some source of water right now, considering how dry it is. And there goes Valerie.
Went to go pump some more, and it was not working. So what I do is, when I pulled the handle down, there was definitely pressure on it, but it wouldn't release, which would tell me that the valve in the bottom, the foot valve, would let. See, what would it be? It'd be stuck shut, so that when you pump the water up, nothing was really coming in. You could feel the pressure in the handle, and I thought, oh great, I got to pull this all up and get the foot valve out. So I came with a plan. I was going to cut this straight out so I can get the pipe out. Had the skid steer at the forks, so as I raised the pipe out, it could rest in between there and hopefully wouldn't snap as I go up. I'll take off about, I don't know, 12 feet of our 40-foot pipe. But I took this out, took the pitcher pump off, and there's water in here, which would defeat what I was thinking was happening. Looked underneath, and that appears to have broken or come off. So this piece should be moving, and it is not. It has come detached somehow. So a brand new pump. So luckily these are repairable. So I'm going to take these bolts off, disassemble it, see if I can figure out what broke and get it running again. But so far this well has been quite a challenge. Got the bolts off here, and on further inspection, I couldn't lift this up before, this valve. So I don't know what happened, but this would not push. It would not lift up. I don't quite know how that would get off, but I'm hoping that's all it was, that this wasn't able to lift up, so the seal was, one-way valve wasn't working. Everything else seems to be okay. So I'm going to put it back together and check it out. So if I put this on here now and just test it, push from the bottom, it's opening and closing fine. So hopefully that was all the issue was. So I put it back together and it's still not working. You can hear it trying to work. I just think that when it's tightened down, this isn't able to open. So this is basically acting as my foot valve. It's going to be keeping the water in there. Which of course you can see I already have water there because there's a foot valve way at the bottom. So I'm actually going to take this weight off and then see if that will affect it at all. That still didn't work. When I go down, when I pull up, it should suck water up into the reservoir here. And then when I push down, the one-way valve in there should there's 2 one-way valves, it should let water in. When I pull up, it closes, and then it brings water to the surface. And it is not doing that. So I'm going to try Try priming it, but I shouldn't need to. The water level's right here. Priming it didn't work either. So, I don't know. Trial and error. Well, I'm back to thinking the foot valve stuck again because water line, you can see the flap is open. And if I just take the plunger part of this, it doesn't, water level doesn't come up at all, which tells me it's not able to suck any water from down below, which tells me that there's something wrong with the foot valve or our pipe is clogged. I'm guessing the foot valve is stuck. The valve works. Sprayed myself when I pushed it open, but it was working fine, but there's obviously a lot of pressure on it. So we are down 40 feet, and I would guess that that valve is not rated for 40 feet. And there is simply too much water pressure on it, and that's causing it to not be able to open. So I just took the screen off, pretty simple to do, and then the valve itself is just right there, and I can grab it and spray myself again. There's a lot of pressure on it. So that's all I can think of, is that there's too much pressure on it. I don't know if I can adjust this or if I just need to lower the, make it not so deep. Not sure. I'll have to play with this for a little bit, but I'm pretty sure this is our problem. There's just too much pressure, and when that valve hits, it can't. I mean, I'm having to push pretty hard to get that to open up, and I'm only half full of water. So I kind of wonder if that's only good for, you know, maybe 25 feet, and we're down 40. So it's a good possibility that's what our issue is. And before you could look down, you could see the water there. You can no longer see it. In fact, I'll take a little rock, see if you can hear this. It is way down there. So, like I said, the pitcher pump is only viable for pumping up 25 feet, and I would assume that we've pretty much drained this down close to halfway, and that's why it was not being able to pump. So that's a problem, because we were hoping this would be a good well, but clearly it is not. So the parts I bought are basically not good for anything right now. So the pitch pump's probably fine, everything was probably fine, it's just that the water is too far down there. I don't know, that was unexpected.